Okay, the next section of the lesson today is about compound interest. Compound interest is money that you earn, that's interest, on the amount you deposit in an account and the interest you've already earned. So there's really two types of interest. Compound, like this, where you're earning money on the amount you put in plus any other interest you've earned. The other kind is called simple interest, where you only earn money on what you've deposited. Compound interest is the way most bank accounts for savings work. This formula is the formula we're going to use for compound interest. This page is actually in your packet, so if you're watching the video, find this page in your packet so you can actually add all of these notes right to that page. This formula you need to memorize. So A stands for the amount in your account, which the word for that is the balance. So it's your balance in your account. At the end of the month, you have $500. That's A. P stands for the principal, spelled L-E, not the kind of like the school, which is spelled A-L. That's the amount you deposit. That's the principal. The initial amount you put into your account. R stands for the rate as a decimal. Most rates are given as a percent in problems, so you have to change that percent number to a decimal. N is the number of times, or we'll say frequency, of the compounding. And T is your time the money's in the account, or the time that you're earning the interest. So now we're going to look at 4 different types of frequency for compounding. These are used very often. If the bank tells you get quarterly interest, that means they are going to calculate your compounding interest every 4 times a year. So quarterly is 4 times a year. Semi-annually is twice a year. Monthly is 12 times. And daily is 365. So now let's do a sample problem. On your quiz next week, the directions are going to say leave your answer calculator ready because it's a non-calculator quiz. However, when we do these problems on our homework or in class, it's really nice to know the actual amount of money you have as an answer. So we are going to use our calculator to figure out the actual amount. But on the quiz, the directions will say calculator ready, and I'll show you what that means as we go through this first question. So in this first problem, 500 is deposited. That's our principal, the initial amount that we put in the account. 9.5% as a decimal is 0.095. That's going to be our rate. Compounded monthly means that N will be 12. And 3 years is T equals 3. So I'm going to plug all of those into our formula in the corresponding location. The the way this looks with the numbers just plugged in, this is calculator ready. From here, I'm going to use my calculator to find out how much money this is after 3 years. But on the quiz, since it's non-calculator, and the directions will say, leave your answer calculator ready, you're just going to leave it just like this. Remember, I'm not giving you the formula. You need to memorize it. Now, when I plug this in the calculator, I'm actually going to start on the inside with my division and work my way out because the calculator doesn't have a brain. It doesn't always get the order of operations correct, especially when you have some division. So it will work if you type it in exactly as it is, if you use the appropriate parentheses. I don't like to chance it. So what I'm going to do is 0.095 divided by 12. Then I'm going to say plus 1 to the 12 times 3, well, that's 36, times 500. So at the end of the 3 years, we will have $664.14. Now for number 2, we're going to compare two accounts. We have $250 to invest, that's our principal. So we have the bank near home, which our rate is 0.082%, and our compounding periods is 2 for semi-annually. Now there's a bank near school that has a rate of 8%, so 0.08, but that's compounding quarterly. So I wonder, even though the bank near home has a higher percent, you get the interest less often compared to the school account, which is a little bit lower percent, but you get the interest more often. So I really wonder which one is going to give us the most money at the end. So we need to see which one should we invest in. Notice the problem doesn't give us a time period. So let's pick one. How many years do you want to estimate? Okay, I heard 5 and 1, so let's try 5 to start. So we have to do this twice. So for the home account, I'm going to plug in my numbers. And for the school account, because we're using the same time for each one, using time as 1 year actually is a little less typing. So that would work. If you're curious and want to do it for 5 years, and maybe even try it even further out and do it for 10 or 15 years and see if it makes a difference, the amount of time your money's in the bank, one might be better over the other. So after plugging my numbers into the calculator, we get $373.63 for the home account and $371.49 for the school account. So the better account to have our money in at this point would be the home account because we earn more money. A little bit more, but it's still more. So if you calculate it for just 1 year, the value for the home account is $270.92, and the school account is $270.61. So a little bit closer together, but the home account still gives you a little bit more. But this shows the longer you keep your money there earning interest, the more money you'll have in the end.